Hey guys, I'm WUSA Season 3, Episode 164. It is Saturday, still here on my trip, and did all the family stuff. Had a beautiful funeral remembrance, and couldn't have asked for any more out of that. Spent time with the family and just relaxed all day. I only got a couple of hours sleep last night. And when I went back to the room, wife was sound asleep, no issues there. Woke up this morning, got some breakfast from this restaurant. It's normally a regular restaurant, but in the mornings they have some breakfast sandwiches and things like that. So we did that this morning. And then we did the family thing, church and all that. And we got some ice cream tonight, and we went back to the hotel. My boy and my wife are in the hotel room, and my wife wanted some food, and nothing was open except one place inside the casino. So I ordered food for her and for him, and I went and did my rounds, and I was probably walking around there for about half an hour or so, and placed the order, then came back and picked up the order and cashed out my voucher, and only played slots. Although there is some blackjack open in the high limit area, only played slots right now, and ended up ahead $398, so plus $398 there. Right now I just picked up the food, and I'm heading up to the room, take care of all this stuff and take care of all the family stuff, and then I'll probably head back out. And I'm probably only going to go to one or two places from here and try to do better than yesterday. I think yesterday we ended up ahead about 1,000 total, but I know we can do better. And with it being the weekend, we'll be able to fit in with other people pretty well, and hopefully make some decent money today. Right now I'm getting into the elevator, heading up to the room, and then I'll come back later on and update you, let you know what's going on. Alright guys, I am back. So I don't know if you could hear that very well, but I did go to this casino. I played some slots. One of the first machines I played, I was ahead about 140 on it. Then I played a couple small plays, made or lost a few bucks, and then I had a big play which was about $10 a spin, and I was involved for a lot on that one, 6, 7, somewhere in there, 100. And with that win, that's when I walked away ahead $398. So $398. Now, as you know, there are other casinos I can go to. I am not going to go to the closer casino. I am going to go to the further casino. There is no time to waste, so I'm going to head over there right now and try to get some blackjack in. We'll see what kind of reception I get after yesterday. As you know, yesterday I did a 1-20 spread and even had a double down on a max bet, and we'll see how they like me today. So I'm going back to the same casino. They have 2.5 hours of video they could have analyzed yesterday, and we'll see if they say anything to me today. After that, if things go well there, and I'm not there very long, I do want to stop by one other place on the way back and hopefully hit them for a little bit of money. Now, this one place is one where I did have some major... They never confronted me, but there was an issue, and this is a place, if you'll recall, I was down about $7,000 in my first double-deck shoe, and then in like my next shoe practically, if I remember right, I made it all back and more and ended up ahead like $1,000. And during those couple shoes, I had more than one person come up to me and say they were a host and ask me if they could comp me some stuff. They wanted my ID so I could get comped, and I refused. I told them that I'm not from the area, and I'm not interested. And then they tried to get me at the cashier, but I outsmarted them there as well. Was able to cash out a portion of my chips, and then between my wife and I came back later and cashed out the rest of the chips on a different shift. So we're going to try to hit that place. I haven't been to that place since that happened. I haven't played blackjack there since that happened. We'll see if they have any recollection of me being there, or if they have a problem with me being there. I know that day it was a big deal. They tried to get my ID at the cashier, and didn't work out for them too well. It worked out better for me than it did for them. They never confronted me. They never said I'm not allowed to be there. So we'll see what happens when I get there. So right now I am going to go ahead and go to the furthest place, and I'm pretty tired already. Right now it's after 10 p.m. and we're going to see if we can make some money there. See how long we last. I only got like 2 hours sleep last night, and first thing in the morning we're going to be driving all the way home. So I need to make sure that I am alive in the morning, at least have enough energy to get us home. So letting you go right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, just leaving this casino, and I go in here. I look around to some slots first, and I don't find anything to play. It is busy in the casino. It's Saturday night. So as expected, most of the machines are full anyway. So I end up going to the blackjack area. I go to a double deck table, and I sit down, start playing, and there's a guy next to me. I don't know what it is, but advantage players have this aura, have this something that they put off that makes you recognize them. And I can't really explain it, but I had a feeling right away that this guy could be an advantage player. And so anyway, I sit down and I play. I buy in for 500, and this is the casino that I was at yesterday, that I was in for whatever, 1,000,000,000, 5,000, whatever it was. And I ended up coming back, and then ended up winning at the end of the night after many hours of play. So the whole goal tonight was going to be just rack up a win, 500, 1,000, whatever you can get, and get the heck out of there. So I start playing. I put $50 out there. The guy next to me starts with two hands at 50. I'm like, huh, that's interesting, because the shoe that he just finished, he was playing one hand at 50. I'm like, sounds familiar. So we play, count goes negative, he goes to one hand at 50. I'm like, okay, continue on, the shoe ends, next shoe starts, he starts with two hands at 50. I'm like, okay, so far, I'm following you so far here. And the count goes up. He goes to, he starts with two hands at 50. Count goes up. He goes to two hands at 100. Count goes up. He goes to two hands at 150. Meanwhile, I go to one hand at 100, one hand at 150, and I'm like, whoa, it is what I think it is, I think. And so that was the second shoe. We finished up that shoe. Third shoe starts, and I'm like, I even said it out loud, I may leave after this shoe. So, and I say to the guy, hey, where are you from? And he goes, oh, about an hour from here. I'm trying to get like an idea, from this guy, if he's traveling or what he's doing. So he asked me where I'm from, and I said, oh, I'm all over the Midwest. And no reaction. I'm like, okay, well, he may not listen to the podcast, but let's see what happens here. So I play that shoe. He goes positive. We both raise. I'm like, that's it. For sure, he's counting cards. I don't want to be associated with this. And he was here first, so I'm going to get up and leave. So at this point, the running count had dropped to a running 1. And I color up and I leave. ahead 650. Now, remember, I said the whole time I was there, he was keeping the count and he was betting the same as me. Now, I know for a fact that he was betting first, and now I'm like thinking it over. Was he betting first? Yes, he was. And so I'm coloring up to leave, and the count is a running 1. I look over, and he raised his bet. The count went down, but he raised his bet from 2 hands at 100 to 2 hands at 150. And I'm thinking, okay, if this guy's counting, then maybe he miscounted. So I said, the dealer was like trying to flag down a pit boss and all this stuff. And so I said to him, are you sure that's right? And he goes, what? And I pointed to his chips. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, oh, never mind. So then I'm like, maybe he doesn't know. And then he says, I'm not even sure anymore. I'm like, maybe he lost count and he added instead of subtracting, and that would make total sense because it went from like a plus 1.5 to a neutral count, right? So a running 1. So I leave, and if it's you and you played at this casino with me, I was at third base, and you had asked me when I sat down if I was going to play 2 hands or not, and asked me if I wanted you to move over so that I would have room. Contact me. Let's talk. I really feel like this guy was a card counter, and I wanted to get out of his way, and hopefully I'm right. I think I am right. So anyway, I did end up playing slots afterward, and at first I was up like whatever 70, 80, but I ended up leaving ahead 23 on the slots. So plus 650 on the blackjack, plus 23 on the slots. Now the casino I'm going to has license plate readers, and I think I was driving this vehicle last time I was at that casino. So we'll see what happens, see if there's any kind of alarm bells or anything, and whatever. I don't care one way or another. I don't live here, so whatever. And the company that these guys are with is, I don't want to say actually one way or another, but it's a company that doesn't mean very much to me. So if I lose it, I lose it. I'm not really worried about it. So anyway, we're moving on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I'm back. So I go into this place, which I hate, but I just kind of wanted to see if they were going to throw me out or not. But I walked in, no problem. Walked around, looked at slots, played for a long time, like 45 minutes, different things. It's a big place. Couldn't find anything, and it had just a little bit on them, $20, $30, $40, something like that. Went to the high limit blackjack area, couldn't find a game that was available. There was a double deck that was full. There was a reserve game, and there was another game that had too many people on there, so I couldn't sit down. Went back, looked at other stuff again, played slots, and ended the slot session. I had $91. Went back to the blackjack area again. Now it's been almost a couple hours. Still haven't played yet. Finally found a table with another guy. Sat down, started playing there. Bought in for $500. The idea was to go from $50 to $250, just to see what would happen, just to see if anyone says anything, and never really got anywhere. Give me 1 second here. All right, anyway, what I was saying was, started playing it at that table, and the first shoe was like nothing. The whole shoe was dead all the way through. I think the dealer was counting how many hands she busted. For the whole shoe, she says she busted 2 hands. So it's hard to win when the dealer's not busting at all. Ended that shoe down only slightly, like $250 or something like that. Next shoe, ended that one ahead about $50, and just flat the whole time. My biggest bet was only $150, so hard to make money. But after 4 shoes, I ended up leaving. They had the pit boss that was here the one time when I had the issue, or I suspected that there was an issue, didn't say a thing. They were there. And then another pit boss came, and they were on the phone for a long time, never said anything to me, so never had a problem with that. So I assume that it's blown over. It's been long enough. It's been over a year now, so it doesn't look like there's any kind of facial recognition or anything like that I have to worry about. So all that is good. Overall, I ended up leaving that table ahead $150, which, whatever. I mean, honestly, I was on my way out when I finally found a spot, and luckily ended up with something. Plus 150 on the blackjack, plus 91 on the slots. And let's step back and talk for a second about the sights and sounds and smells of the casino. I saw some very strange things today. People dressed very strangely, people acting very strangely, just crazy. Like, people looked like they were like actually going out of their mind, high on drugs. People dressed like they were going to the gynecologist. I mean, they were like practically, you know, just ridiculous. I would never let my kids dress that way. Just overall, just watching people play. They had a pit that was you know what, I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to go here. There was a pit that was a 6-to-5 blackjack pit with a loud music going, you know, and they had electronic blackjack, and every seat was filled, and just all these games that you know are just disgusting abuses by the casino, all completely full, and nowhere for anyone else to sit down. So I saw some young girls at the cashier trying to figure out how to take money off a credit card, going back and forth and asking questions and trying to do it, and, you know, trying to get it to go through and all that kind of stuff. And it's really sad when young people aren't taught properly by their parents about how to handle money and how to deal with money and credit and things like that. What is important enough to use your credit and what is not important enough to use your credit. And you know, you feel bad for people that, you know, they're in the long term they're going to have a rough time. But anyway, right now it's incredibly late. I should not be doing anything else, but I'm kind of feeling like I should, on the way back, stop by the other casino that I went to, because, you know what, I think they shut down their pit around this time, because it's almost 3 right now. Do I even go there? I mean, I could take a lap. It would add like 20 more minutes to my trip if I did that. And then if there was a table open, it's Saturday night, so there should be a table open. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to go back to the other casino. You know, talk about making nickels and dimes. That's what it feels like right now. We're moving the right direction, but it's been so hard to make money. So anyway, we're going to go back to the other casino and see if we can make something, and then we'll go back to our hotel and get some sleep so we can take off in the morning. So letting you go right now. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So I'm heading over to my car right now. So I walk in, I go straight to the slots, I look around. You know, it's not very busy, so there's not going to be a lot to find. I look around, I find one play that I'm down like $6 or $5 by the time I go play blackjack. I go back to the double deck area, and really only 2 tables this whole trip have been 6 deck. The rest have been double deck. So the one yesterday that was like a $25 minimum table that I won money at, That was a 6 deck, and the one at the casino I just left was a 6 deck. Other than that, they were all double deck. So I go back to the double deck blackjack area where I was before, where I won like whatever, 6 something before. And the same guy is still there. They have closed the entire pit, but this place, unless it's a certain time, like really, really late, and it's going to make it so that they can't keep other things open, they will keep the high limit area open until the last player leaves. So he was still sitting there. When I left, like whatever number of hours ago, he had like, say like $700 or $800 in front of him. And when I came back, he had about $2,000 in front of him. So everything's looking good, right? So I do the same thing that I did before. I'm buying in 500, start playing, and things are going okay for me. They're up and down for me, but for that guy, he's doing poorly. I eventually end up buying in for a total of 1,000, and he ends up, and he's still playing the same way, and he's got some big bets out there. But earlier he was doing like 1 by 50, 2 by 100, 2 by 150. Now he's doing 2 by 100, 2 by 2, 2 by 3. So he's bumped up his betting. Well, it didn't work out for him, and I don't know if he was betting outside what he could afford or outside his bankroll or what, but he was definitely counting, and he was just having a bad streak and ended up losing and ended up leaving. Now, he had said that earlier he had won something like 20 hands in a row. Obviously, that's probably an exaggeration, but maybe he won 7 or 8 in a row. And maybe that was just to say that because he raised his bet and he wanted an excuse why he raised his bet. Because according to the people at the casino, when you're winning, you raise your bet. So you got to take advantage of this momentum. So maybe he was just playing games with them, saying that he won a bunch of hands in a row to justify why did you keep raising when you were losing. That's one thing that we card counters have to deal with all the time is, hey, you lost 7 hands in a row and you've raised your bet 6 times. Why is that? Well, it's like that because, I'm getting 5 cards and they're all under 7. And, the count keeps going up, so I keep raising my bet, but I can't win. So, anyway, he ends up busting out and leaving. Again, if it's you that I sat next to earlier and then again tonight, get in touch with me, and we'll talk a little bit. I ended up doing okay at that table. At one point, I was ahead like 400 or something like that, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to finish out this shoe and then I'm going to leave. Well, I lose every hand the rest of the shoe, and I end up down like $50 by the end of the shoe. So I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. Played a few more shoes and finally ended up leaving ahead $565. So plus $565 on the blackjack. I went back to the slots and played for about another 10 minutes or so and ended up leaving the slots ahead $1, one whole dollar. So plus $565 on the blackjack, plus $1 on the slots. And right now, I think I'm going to head toward the hotel. I very much doubt that I would play anything there. I've got the energy, but I need to sleep because I've got a very long day of driving tomorrow. And so anyway, I'll let you go right now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I was just looking at the stats for the day. It seemed like it was a miserable day and we didn't make any money, but we actually did. I made about, I think it was just adding up in my head about $1,878, $1,878 today. So not bad for after hours, nighttime, all this stuff. So decent day. One more thing I want to say about that advantage player that was at my table. Your act was decent. I don't know if it was an act or not, but your act was good. Acting like you're tired and you're too sleepy to drive and all this stuff. I mean, it is 4 in the morning right now, so it's believable. Hopefully you're not too tired to drive. Hopefully you're okay and you got home safe. But I look forward to Monday. Monday I'm going to be going out of town because I took that as a day off. And since I can't go Sunday because I'll be getting home Sunday, I'll be definitely traveling during the daytime on Monday, trying to make some money. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to focus on driving, and I'll be back with you Sunday or Monday, probably Monday. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.